Page 16, God rest ye merry gentlemen. I don't know about a comma between merry and gentlemen. To me, there's no comma there. It's just straight across. Merry gentlemen. I won't get into I'm a retired technical editor and writer, so it comes natural. I see that and I don't want to comment in that spot. Let's talk about music though. 4/4 time, 1 flat in the key signature. We are in the key of D minor here. You need to be able to do the scale for F major because it has 1 flat in the key signature. And D minor is the relative minor. It has 1 flat in the key signature. I have scale videos on those. Go do it at least 1 octave up and down. If you already know the scales, you can go 2 octaves, but if you don't know the scales, don't go 2 octaves. Just learn the scale first. You got time later on to go further than that. Let's take it one hand at a time. Make sure we understand the fingering and everything. I don't think rhythm's a problem. It's straightforward, but fingering. Right hand, when it comes in there at the pickup to measure 5. Remember those numbers at the beginning of the lines in little boxes? Those are measure numbers. So measure 5 is second line, second measure. It's pickup to it. Just quarter notes. Just crossover for 1 note. That's fine. See, the problem is we got 6 notes we got to cover, and we only got 5 fingers to do it in, so we just do this. This is one of the things we do. It says crossover. You want to get to where you can do that without looking at the keyboard too. Now, go down to measure 11. It's here. Now we're going to take advantage of this repeated note to change hand positions. We're going to use different fingers on repeated notes. That's what we're going to do here, just here. And now we're in this position. Don't forget the B flat, it's in the key signature. Crossover, 3rd finger here for measure 15 here. If you can do the scales, this kind of movement is common in scales, so it should be comfortable to you. So, and then scrunch up a little bit and put the thumb on it. We changed hand positions again. 2, 1, measure 19, 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then they say a 2-1. I don't see any reason for that. Just do a 3 right where you're at, and then a thumb. You can do a 3-1. Again, you get that move in the scales, so just do it. Cross. And then for measure 25, the chords. And you can go ahead and use the same fingers, that's fine. There's other fingers, this is fine, we'll do that. Measure 27, it's the same notes, but an octave higher. It's left hand. You're starting out with the D minor chord in here. And again, there's different fingerings for this, but this is good. This is fine here. So the second measure, 1 and 2 and 3. This is fun. Let's go down to measure 7. We get the 4 chord is here. If you can't fit up in here, you do that. Otherwise, this fingering in the book is fine. Then the 5/7 chord. And then go down to the bottom, the last measure on page 16. You have a rest right in front of it, so you come up here to, and then measure 14 at the end, you get a rest, you come back down. Now I want to show you a slightly more advanced fingering that'll help you out here, so just bear with me. This is measure 15 and 16. They're saying in the book here to 2 to here. So the thumb's doing this and the here. I like to do this is here and then just cross over 2, 3. Yeah, I'm using the thumb as my pivot and I'm just coming across here and then 5-1. I encourage you to get accustomed to that fingering because it sure comes in handy in a lot of spots. So here, then the 2 rests, and you come up. Don't forget the B flats. They're in the key signature. At the bottom, last line, measure 26. You're here. There's no rest. Just lift up and come down. You may have to practice that. Don't. It's not a quick jerky motion or nothing. You just lift up and move down. 1. And then you can use 5 and 1 in all these if you want. Or if you'd rather, I mean, it's up to you. But I can do here. I can do a 2. Here, if you want. Experiment. And then the last 3 notes. I prefer, because you have a rest in front of it, you have time to move. I prefer to do a 3, 2, 1. Again, it's a little more advanced fingering, but it will help you out. So if you can, do a 3, 2, 1 on those 3 last notes. 3, 2. Takes a little practice. I'm making it a little more difficult for you, but it'll help you. I mean, these things will come in handy. Put the hands together. We're going to start at measure 4, where both hands are playing. You're here. 2, 3, and that D is by itself. Left hand has the rest, so. 1 and 2 and 3. So there, on measure 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I don't see anything tricky about putting this together. So you go through and put the hands together and then go back through it a few hundred times or whatever and get rid of the hesitation so it's a steady beat. You can keep it slow, it's not a problem, but it needs to be no hesitations anywhere. And once you have that, then we think about the articulation. You have staccatos in the left hand. I'm going to hinge at the wrist here and play short staccatos. So it's 2. Get those in a few places. The right hand, you have phrasing. Lift up. It's like taking a breath. Lift up. So it's again like taking a breath. Lift up. Lift up. Lift up. So just lift up between the phrases in the right hand. I played it more quickly there because it's easier to hear the sentences if it goes a little faster. When it goes really slow, it's hard to hear where the musical sentences are. Let's take measure 8, for instance. You're here. I'm lifting up here and I'm playing staccatos. Because here I'm connecting this, but not that. At the same time, 1 and 2 and. So that may take a little practice because you're doing different things in the hands. Now the last 2 measures there, you're here, and then the 3 notes are staccatos, and that last note has that little V, that little arrow underneath it. That's a marcato. A marcato means marked. It is an accent that is stronger than a regular accent. It's extra. It's bum bum bum. Not super duper loud. There's an accent stronger than this. It's not just an accent. It's a little stronger than that. I don't know that you really need it because you're very loud here, but okay. Just make sure the last note at that last measure is louder than those other notes, is all. Speaking of dynamics, well, this is a loud piece. Now, the introduction, the first 4 measures, that's loud. You'll have to decide what loud is. But then in measure 4, when the right hand, the melody comes in, it's loud, and the left hand has to get in the background. Go back in the background. So the left hand's in the background. Now when you get down to the bottom of the page, the last 2 measures there, it's 13, or pick up to measure 13, moderately soft, whatever you think sort of soft is. The left hand is very soft. If the see, that's at measure 18. want to hear the right hand. The left hand's in the background. And then measure 21, you're going to crescendo up to about a moderately loud. And this left hand now can come up a little bit because it's by itself. And at the end, starting at measure 25, it's both hands. Both hands are loud here. And then you go up to very loud. Now be careful here on the very loud. On measure 27, you're here. Because you got really low notes and really high notes on a piano. It's easy to play really loud on the low notes. They come out. You don't have to try very hard at all. They're loud. On the high notes, the higher up you go, the softer it gets. So you have to play these a little louder in order to get them to sound the same. So when you're playing this, you might ease off on the left hand a little bit because it's down here. Because you want them to sound the same. So I'm playing this pretty loud and this not so loud to get it to sound the same. Because if you play them both the same, the left hand will take it. The left hand just takes it. So ease off on the left hand there. And bring out the right hand until the very last three notes there the left hand can have it. As far as the speed goes, it says con spiritu. I can't speak the language, sorry. It means with spirit. So as far as how fast that is, well, I don't know. What is with spirit? I need some wine on this. Maybe there's all kinds of recordings and they'll play it at different speeds. I've heard this piece played at this speed. And I've heard it played at different speeds. Experiment, see what you like. If you were going to sing it, how fast would you sing it? I don't know. So just with spirit means with a little bit of excitement here. You know, it's not something that the lazy daisy about to go to sleep thing. I like to play it with you very slowly, double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I will do the staccatos. I'm going to play both hands about the same so you can hear it clearly. Even play it with me one hand at a time if you need to. But this is after you've learned it. You try and learn it and get where you can play it. No hesitations or nothing. Then check your notes with me. You should be playing the same note I'm playing at the same time I'm playing it. So I'll give us 4 counts and we're going to go really slow. We're not performing it here. We're just checking notes and rhythms. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4, 1 in, 2 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. In, 2 in. to N. 2.